What is Portland, Oregon known for? Lawless and crime?
No.
Rain and gloom?
No.
It's none of those things. Stay tuned and we're gonna get right into what Portland really is all about. My name's Aaron Cullen and this is Brandon Cullen. Together, we have a local real estate company right here in Portland, Oregon.
The city of lifestyle. Portland is all about lifestyle. And today we're gonna focus on the culture and the arts side of that.
And this is gonna be an exciting video, guys, because this is what Portland is really all about. None of that nonsense that you might see on the news portraying Portland as this bad, terrible place. There are some bad policies that have gone on, just like in a lot of other cities, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about what Portland is really about, and it's about the culture, the arts, that's right here.
We're actually in the downtown cultural district today, and it's true that during the pandemic, downtown took a real hit. And so it's fun to be down here today and see how many people are out and about. There's actually a movie filming right over here, and it looks like they're filming a Christmas movie, and it's September, so you can see the decorations out there.
Pan right around here, you can see some of the crew right down in the corner, the church, all decorated into being a Christmas movie.
A Christmas gala.
There's a lot of action. There's a lot of things going on around here.
There's also a Wednesday farmers market down here behind us.
Yep, right back there in the corner.
And this area is really full of museums and concert halls. You might not necessarily think of yourself as particularly artsy. What does the arts and culture of Portland have to do with you? I think while some major metropolitan cities have a really highbrow art scene, Portland, although for sure has some very talented fine artists, the culture and art scene here is known for being collaborative, inclusive, and with a big focus on sustainability. I kind of think of the creativity and the arts in Portland as being everyday creativity. People participate in that. It's very engaging, and we all get to benefit from that.
Yeah.
The arts and creativity here is really wide ranging. So visual arts, yes, and also the food, beer, wine, coffee, that world of creativity, music, clothing, design, architecture.
And I have clients as well that are looking to buy in the Hawthorne district. And one of the partners, she's a jewelry designer. They want to buy a house and then open up part of the house to do jewelry classes right off of Hawthorne. And that's just a perfect example of kind of the local cultural and arts that you're gonna find in Portland. It's a lot smaller scale, craftsmen, people of the community, creating art on a small scale. You're even going to something later tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm going to a cookbook talk at a cookbook store in the Alberta Arts District. So it's a woman-owned cookbook store. I've never been to a store that's all cookbooks, but I love cookbooks, and so I'm going with a friend. The jewelry classes, that's gonna kill it here in Portland, because if you wanted to dip your toe into creative hobbies, there are so many classes here. There's a lot of makers and DIY. That sort of ethos is huge here in Portland. So you can find all sorts of sewing, crafting classes here. That reminds me of other kind of similar creative cities that have more of an indie vibe, like Brooklyn or the Silver Lake part of LA.
And let's talk about the food. because the food scene here is major. So if you guys are coming to town and you guys need some recommendations of some place to visit, definitely please reach out. Information's right down there, and I'd love to give you guys just some must-see places that are kind of always on the top of lists for people coming into Portland. Now the food scene here, it's amazing. Everybody knows it's a foodie city. Let's also talk about the food trucks, because a lot of that also goes to the food trucks, because you can get some amazing food that's quick, that's fast, that's right in the city. Pretty much any part of town within Portland, they're gonna have a food truck pod somewhere nearby. Not familiar with food truck pods? It's where they'll take an old parking lot or maybe a building that's shut down, and they'll revamp that to have permanent picnic tables there, and they'll have, maybe it's 3 trucks, maybe it's 5 trucks. Some of them have even 20 trucks where you can get pretty much any kind of food you can think of. It's just really something awesome to see, and I haven't been to any other cities that really take it as seriously as Portland does with their food trucks.
It's about like bringing that artistry into anything you do. So it could be food, and it could be like street food or coffee. Like coffee is my thing. I think people here elevate coffee to an art. Beer, wine, that.
And the beer, that's more my thing. You're becoming more of a beer person
Yeah.
too. We kind of fluctuate between artisanal wines, the small vineyards, and if you're into wine, they've got a lot of small vineyards here, some great wines. And if you're into beer, a lot of craft breweries here as well.
And on that everyday creativity note, when I moved up here, I think in 2011, I actually lived in the Alberta Arts District, which is a really artsy part of town. And I was working for some friends then, and I feel like they just epitomize this culture. So she had a retreat center, and she taught entrepreneurs business and marketing using yoga principles. And he was a graphic designer, and he also brewed his own beer, made his own sourdough bread, and had a garden in the backyard. And this was, before we were making fun of ourselves for making sourdough bread during the pandemic. Like, that's just very Portlandy to sort of live your life that way and make your life into a work of art.
Speaking of work of art, what are we standing in front of right now?
So we're gonna head into the Portland Art Museum. They have a French Impressionist exhibit that ends this weekend, and so I've been dying to go.
You think they'll have a Monet in there?
I think they'll have a Monet or two.
Let's go check it out. I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak peek. Come on. We made it. What'd you guys think?
Definitely my energy was like, compared to when we went in there.
No.
So beautiful. As you can see, they're doing a lot of construction on this museum and combining the two wings. So it'll be cool to see what it looks like when they're finished.
That's a fun little museum. Really cool to be able to see some priceless French masterpieces right here in Portland.
Then on the food art scene, we're gonna head around the corner to a little Japanese cafe for some matcha and a snack.
Well, let's go check that out. So we just got done having a little bite and some matcha. My lips green.
Not anymore.
Okay, great. That was one of the most delicious matchas. Wait, what did I have? The
Matcha latte.
matcha lattes I ever had. I used to drink those all the time, and I haven't had one in probably a year.
So he's a
Down
little
on that
zipped
caffeine.
up right now if
I
you
cut
didn't
down on
notice.
my caffeine, so I overdid it, so then I took a break. But behind the museum cafe, highly recommend. Check it out. Just a fun, cute little place.
Yeah,
What'd you
adorable.
think?
We had some miso soup and some snacks and some tea. It's a really cool cafe.
The next thing we want to talk about is we're still here in the Cultural District. First Thursdays. So First Thursdays, a chance for the galleries and local businesses to open their doors in the evening. They'll have wine, beer, hors d'oeuvres, kind of create more of that local cultural feeling and open their doors. You can kind of get another glimpse into the city at a different time of the day in a different way and just meet new people.
Yeah, I think a lot of cities have this. I know when I worked in downtown LA, there was a you know, I can't remember if it was like Third Fridays or...
I used to go to that all the time.
That one was really cool. And in Portland, a lot of different neighborhoods have one. So the Pearl District has one. The Alberta Arts District, I think, is last Thursday.
That's last Thursdays.
And I think especially in the summer, they like close down the streets and there's like acrobatics and it's a whole thing. We have some in the suburbs also. So really just getting involved in making the most of those, like meet and greet, have a drink, walk around, just in the summer, enjoy the beautiful weather, connect with small businesses. I think one of the things about the culture and the arts and the creativity here is a real passion and support for supporting local businesses, which is really cool. And then there's also the Portland Flea, which runs monthly from May through November. And on Saturday, it's on the west side of downtown of the river, and on Sundays, it's on the east side. And it's, I think they call it for the creators, curators, and collectors. So it's a flea market with makers and clothing, art, home decor, all sorts of cool stuff. And then usually some food trucks or coffee, and just like a fun thing to do in the afternoon on Sunday.
And we've brought our kids to that one before, going on Sundays.
Yep.
And it was a lot of fun. Kids, you know, are kind of like, hey, what is all this?
What kind of snack are we getting?
They loved it. It's just seeing all the different people, all the different little trinkets and things for sale. They really enjoyed it.
What is this all about? Like, what are we talking about today? It's about this lifestyle here in Portland, making the most of the arts, the culture, everything that leads to like a vibrancy and a dynamism, I think, here in the city.
Even to the murals that you'll see downtown and all around the city, to the street performers, to all the things we've talked about, being able to go out and have craft beer, tasting wine, going to the farmers markets, just supporting local artists at every level. And Portland really is all about that.
And then allowing people to participate and engage, whether you're like an amateur and have no artistic skills but want to take some cool classes. We're out in the suburbs and sometimes things take a little longer to get out there. It's not quite as like hip and creative. We've got it out there too, but you do have to kind of come into the city and seek it out.
And that's why we're here. That's one of the great things we like about Portland. It is a medium-sized city and it's so easy to get around and be able to come downtown. I mean, it took us like 20 minutes to get here.
And it allows us to feel a little bit like a tourist in our own city, which is always fun.
So there you have it. Portland isn't all about the crime and the grittiness. It is about the culture, the arts. If you guys have any questions, if you're thinking about moving out here, go ahead and reach out. We have a local real estate company right here in Portland, Oregon. We'd love to help you out. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.